Hey, Cary, it's Cary here. Just wanted to address the issue between you and Tristan that kind of blew up yesterday. Um, I've spoken with Tristan, and I think he understands that his comments were a little bit off the track. It's just so easy, not to make an excuse, but it's just so easy in an online platform like this uh, to take things out of context because you don't see each other's body language. And really, about 80% of communication is body language. So if you have that 80% missing and all you have to go on is the words, it's easier to take them the wrong way, which is why everybody needs to be overly cautious about being courteous and civil. That's not an excuse. It's just, you know, the fact of an online platform and the life that we live inside of that. So um, I'm sorry that you were upset, and I can see why you would be. Uh, and Tristan may reach out to you to apologize, and he may not, and you may decide to respond, or you may not. That's between the two of you to settle. And I'm going to not get involved in it because you're adults and you can work this out among yourselves. But I think he understands what went wrong. Um, okay. Um, so that's it on that. You two can work it out, but uh, so that anyway, that's all. Uh, I did run your paper through the plagiarism checker that's available on Blackboard, and there is some plagiarism in there. Not a lot, so I could see why it might look like plagiarism. I will send you a copy of the report that's got the stuff highlighted. I didn't highlight it. The technology highlighted it and connected it out to the source. So I'll send you the report that was generated. Now, most of it looks like plagiarism to the machine because the machine doesn't know the difference. But you did put quotation marks around it. Of course, the machine can't see that, so it's going to think it's plagiarism. However, you didn't cite your source. So the fact that you put quotation marks around it and didn't cite your source simply means that you got it from somewhere, but you're not telling your reader where you got it. Well, that's almost a kind of plagiarism in and of itself. You have to put, when you're using someone else's words, you have to put quotation marks around them, and you have to tell your reader in the body of your text where you got this material. So I know why the machine marked it, and I could even see why somebody looking at it, in fact, the first time I looked at it, I thought it was clearly plagiarism, and then I realized you had at least put quotation marks around it. But that's not enough. We need to learn to do the correct documentation, which you didn't do. I can't tell if you're using APA formatting or MLA. It looks like a little mishmash of both. So we'll need to sort of resolve that situation for you. However, there are a couple of sentences in your paper where you did, in fact, take words right out of the New York Times article, and you didn't put them in quotation marks, and you didn't cite the source. That's plagiarism, pure and simple. So I don't think it's as big a deal, perhaps, as Tristan made out of it, but it is plagiarism, and technically I'm supposed to fail any paper that has plagiarism in it. Uh, so, you know, I don't know what else to say about that. Clearly, we need to work on some more cogency of understanding and some more technique, and that'll come in time. That's what we're here to learn. Um, I know you had a bad week last week and you weren't feeling well. Um, so I think what I'm going to do is to just put a grade of about 20 on your paper, which is kind of breaking the rules. I should fail the paper. But there's another issue with your paper, and that is it's really not a critique. You don't mention the article, you don't mention the author's name at all in your paper. And it sounds like, because you don't mention any of those markers for the reader, it sounds like it's your opinion on this issue, which of course it doesn't go in a summary. So it really doesn't meet the requirements of the assignment to begin with, which would cost you some points. Plus it was late, which would cost you some points. Plus it was a little piece of it was plagiarized, which would cost you all the points. So I'm going to sort of stretch out a little bit here and apply, rather than applying 0 points, I'm going to apply 20 points to it, in respect of the fact that you actually did the paper and submitted it. However, we're going to need to address this issue pretty strictly and pretty soon. Okay, so that's the issue. Yeah, there is a little plagiarism in there. There's no doubt about it. Um, and I can see why but I can also see why you might have overreacted to Tristan's critique. That's really all I have to say. When you get the report, you'll see it's all, if I could figure out how to send it to you, because it's an HTML document. And when I tried to save it as a Word, I got this thing that looks like this with no colors, but just everything written in great big print, and the machine's suggestions underlined, which won't help you as much. But if I can send you the actual HTML document with the color coding on it, you'll see what the machine is saying. Again, if you put quotation marks around it, it's technically not plagiarism, but if you don't cite the source, in a way it is, because the reader still doesn't know where you got this material. They know you got it from somewhere else, but they don't know where. So you're not really giving credit to the source. In a way, you're violating the spirit of why we don't do plagiarism. But in a couple of places where you lifted words right out of the article and didn't put quotation marks around them, then you're violating the law of the plagiarism deal. Again, I don't think it's a gigantic deal in this case, but we do need to learn from this and move on. Okay, I can't for some reason get onto the COD email system this morning. I guess it's down. So I'm going to post this video up to you on Blackboard. And you'll get it when you'll get it. I don't know. Blackboard's going to try to email it to you, and apparently they're having the same problem with the email system. So you'll get it sometime today, I guess. When you get it, I would ask you just to send me an email and let me know that you've gotten it and that you've viewed it. And then we need to move on from this incident, and got other stuff to do, so we need to move on. All right. Sorry again for the confusion and the frustration yesterday, but I believe we've resolved it now. Okay, hope you're having a great day, and I will very much enjoying working with you, enjoying having you in my class, and enjoying working with all of my colleagues. So onward and upward. Bye.